What's up guys, Csaba here from Game of Conversions, and welcome to another proven sales letter breakdown video. Now this is actually a reshoot of the 85th video. Due to some circumstances I had to reshoot this video, and I got a cool Agora promotion for you today. Maybe not so pro level as some of the other Agora promotions that I did, which basically have been the best of the best over the last few years. But this one's also pretty good, and it's a little bit different because it's more of a direct offer. So we've seen before that for these types of financial sales letters, there's usually a story or a secret lead or maybe a prediction lead or something like that. There's a lot of build up before we actually introduce the product itself. But not in this case. In this case, we actually immediately get a part of the offer itself. It's called Cryptocurrency Wars, and it's Jim Rickards' newest book. I mean, it was in 2018. And if you don't know him, Jim Rickards, he's a very influential guy, a very influential guru in the investment circles. He has these his style usually involves a lot of scary type of messaging, like how, you know, the market's gonna collapse and stuff like that. And obviously in 2018, crypto was still like it's becoming very popular, but I think it was after the crash. You know, there was a Bitcoin crash sometime that time, and you know, a lot of people were worried about what this whole thing is, like what's up with cryptocurrencies. It's not like today where you can like much bigger numbers of people buy it and sell it and trade with it. But back in those days, a book like this was pretty valuable. But the cool thing about it is that it still sells the paid newsletter, just like with any other financial or health promotion that we've seen before. The book is just the kind of like the free bonus that people get when they also buy their newsletter subscription. And I wanted to cover this because I haven't really seen any of these Agora promotions before that directly go into the offer itself. And there are a few key things going on here that are super effective. To be honest, you know, I wasn't really that blown away by this sales letter compared to like, you know, the Agora sales letter that broke down a piece from James Altucher, for example, written by Evaldo Albuquerque. I'm gonna leave a link to that in the description section. Check it out. There's a whole playlist of these proven sales letter breakdown videos. So yes, there were better, but I wanted to show you this because this was probably not written by the highest level A-list copywriter ever, but it's still super good copy, and it's a great example of how, you know, you don't necessarily have to like change the world with your copy all the time. It can still work really well. I don't have conversion numbers for this, but the most important elements are still there. And those that aren't, I'm gonna talk about those a little bit as well. So first of all, this is aimed exclusively at a UK audience, okay? So this is for Agora Financial UK readers, and immediately we can see that there's some exclusivity here. So UK exclusive, you know, password protected copies of Jim Rickards' new book, only 1,000 of them, only for Agora Financial UK readers. So they immediately start feeling like this is something for them, right? And it elevates the perceived quality of the offer itself. We got a little disclaimer at the top here. It seems like the FCA, it's kind of like a regulatory agency in the UK. It regulates these things really strongly. But the pre-head, it's pretty persuasive because, you know, just 1,000. So this is a scarcity element. Pre-release, which again adds to the exclusivity angle. Password protected copies, which basically implies that, you know, this is so valuable and it's so secretive that it has to be password protected. Like, it doesn't matter in real life, but this just adds even more intrigue to it, and it raises the perceived quality of it, of Jim Rickards' new book. So this is kind of valuable for the target audience because they're probably familiar with Jim Rickards now. They're probably fans of him, and that's why the sales page itself doesn't have to like go above and beyond to convert a super cold prospect, because this promotion probably isn't going out for a super cold prospect, and that's why they were able to get away with introducing the offer upfront. So if you want your copy, I need to know today. So there's a very strong urgency angle with this one as well. And this is like, we've talked about lead types before. You know, there's the offer lead, there's direct lead, promise lead, problem solution lead, story lead, prediction lead. You know, I covered these around videos 20, 30, something like that, when I talked a lot about Michael Masterson's great book, Great Leads. Again, link to those videos in the description section. But it's very important to choose the right type of lead for the right type of offer and right type of funnel. So the sales letter itself, we have a picture here with Jim Rickards holding the book, also having this little gold, not available on Amazon or any other bookstore. So we also have a scarcity angle, not just an urgency angle. And you have to do these whenever you have an offer lead, because otherwise people are just not going to care. So let me just read you the lead itself, okay, until the first paragraph. So it says, Dear reader, if you've just read, Dear reader, I've just read a book so powerful, so completely locked in to what's unfolding in the UK and the world right now, I'm going to do something unprecedented. So this kind of gives a little reason why behind the letter itself, and it also sets expectations that something is coming. And it's, as you can see, it's kind of like, it's written as a testimonial type of thing. So it's not written by Jim Rickards, but it talks about Jim Rickards here. And it gives a little bit of maybe social proof aspects to it. So then we continue. The book is called Cryptocurrency Wars. It's written by Jim Rickards. If you haven't heard of Jim, I'd be quite surprised. Again, we acknowledge the audience where they're at. They are familiar with Jim at this point, and we acknowledge it. And this makes them feel like, you know, this offer is for them specifically. More details. He's a 35-year Wall Street veteran and a financial warfare analyst for the Pentagon. He's also a 3-time best-selling author. So very quick authority building element. But you won't find his new book being launched at a swanky hotel, or anywhere else for that matter. You won't see it on the shelf of Waterstones or foils, and you won't even find it on Amazon. So there you have it, the big scarcity angle. There's a little weird transition here, but then we have the offer restated once again, saying that, you know, Jim has authorized an exclusive giveaway of 1,000 password protected PDF copies of Cryptocurrency Wars for Agora Financial UK readers. So I mean, like, if you think about it, it is an interesting offer, right? Because it's not available anywhere else. You can read it, but you can read the advanced version because you're a celebrity, you're a VIP, you're the exclusive reader of Agora Financial UK. And that's what gives the whole thing, the whole offer, some extra desire and interestingness. Then we set expectations by saying that, and I'd like to email a digital pre-release copy to you right now. You just need to read this offer in full, provide me with a couple of details, including a valid email address, and give me a swift response. I'm not crazy about this line, to be honest, because I think it suggests that there's some work on your side, dear reader, and we don't want to like hint at the fact that they have to do any work. People are lazy, they don't want to do any work at all. But I get what it's trying to do. So then we acknowledge the problem. We introduce the voice behind this whole thing. It's Michelle Roberts here, by the way, assistant publisher at Agora Financial UK. So now we know who's the person who's recommending Jim Rickards. And we acknowledge the problem that, you know, there are a ton of cryptocurrency books out there, and, you know, Bitcoin is, everything is like crazy and all around the place. So I, as Michelle Roberts, have read most of them, and the problem is that most of them are becoming white noise, and this one is different. So we immediately switch into how and why this book is different. So it's kind of like a unique selling proposition thing, you know, immediately establishing Cryptocurrency Wars as the only choice, as a category of one compared to the others. So that's what's happening here in the first part of the sales letter. Then we start ramping up curiosity a little bit along with the promise, because the job of the lead is to build desire for whatever you're trying to do here, so that people read more. And you also build curiosity because that also increases their chances of reading more. So you can be right on both counts and potentially still see huge gains in the crypto markets, just not in the way you think. Not only will cryptocurrency wars demystify how the crypto phenomenon took off like it did and how we got to where we are now, but it shows why this unique wealth phenomenon isn't over by any stretch. It's just evolving in a very unexpected way. So we have a promise here. And the promise basically is that, hey, if you read this, you're going to understand cryptocurrencies way better, and basically you're gonna make more money. And boom, here are some qualification elements as well, because a good lead also sometimes qualifies. You know, this might be for you if you're interested in Bitcoin and Ethereum. You believe, as I do, that the real fundamental shift to cryptocurrency technology is just getting started, and that there's only a matter of time before the crypto revolution overtakes the world of paper money. So we meet people where they're at, once again, because it's important to validate these things from time to time, because people will feel like you understand them. They will feel like, yes, this person, he speaks my language, he has the same attitudes towards certain things in the world as I do, and he's giving me like a cool little offer here. I like Jim Rickards, so I want to get his book. Let's just see what he or she is getting at here. So yeah, I've seen better leads here, but it gets the job done for sure. So, and make no mistake, this is still super high level copy, just not so good in my personal opinion. Again, this is my personal opinion, as copy from like Clayton Makepeace or Jim Rutz or Gary Bencivenga or David Deutsch or Paris Lampropoulos. Those things are like the best of the best. So, and you can check out the videos for them in the description below. So then we have a curiosity-based, well, actually we covered this, sorry. So here we set up the reason why behind the whole thing, behind why you should read this thing, and it basically plays off the headline once again. So there's another big reason to claim access to one of the 1,000 password-protected PDF pre-release copies of Jim's new book. So here's the reason why, and the reason why actually isn't explained that well here, interestingly. I mean, again, this is a little disconnect that it's still high-level copy, but to me, it seems a little bit strange because this subhead starts talking about the reason why, but then the next paragraph starts talking about the authority buildup. So it kind of feels like someone just copy-pasted this without actually doing that nice slippery slope, transitioning every single thought to the other one, right? It's a little abrupt here, and the reason why I'm covering this in this video, you might be wondering why I haven't chosen like a super high-level sales letter here. Well, because I've covered those before many times over, and I also wanted to introduce something that's still really good copy, but to show where it can be even better, so that maybe you can also learn from these things, and from now on you'll be able to discover and see the difference between all these types of elements and things that are missing here. So we have the authority buildup, like a very extensive one of Jim Rickards, which is needed because maybe some people in the audience, they're not really that familiar with it. They've heard about him, but they don't know exactly what he does or all his credentials. So then we subvert expectations a little bit by saying that, hey, do not buy cryptos right now. And this is weird if you think about it, because the whole promotion is about buying cryptos. But then why are you telling me to not buy cryptos right now? Well, and then we get an interesting description of why you shouldn't buy cryptos right now. So this is valuable content, and it's there so that people consume more of the sales page. We subvert some expectations. We're giving them some new stuff. People always want new stuff, otherwise they're gonna be like, yeah, I've heard that before, so there's no reason for me to read this because I know it already. No. You always want to like give them something new. Even if you're giving the same info, you kind of should like reposition it a little bit and play it up so that it seems like something super impressive, super like wow, or something like that. So we subvert some expectations, give them some content as well, and then we introduce the unique mechanism of the problem here. And we talked a lot about the unique mechanism of the problem and the unique mechanism of the solution before, and it's called, like it says, the days of easy money in Bitcoin are over. And again, it's a painful problem for people, because many people in the target audience, they feel like, you know, they want to get into crypto. They've missed some of the biggest opportunities. Maybe now it's too late, maybe it's not, but like they know that it's harder to get into Bitcoin right now. And this just pre-validates again their existing belief system, because they believe that, you know, Bitcoin, it's risky a little bit, especially because there were a lot of big swings around 2018 when it comes to Bitcoin. And they still feel like, you know, the crypto market holds a lot of potential opportunities, but that might not be in Bitcoin. So lo and behold, we introduced the problem with Bitcoin. Obviously, this didn't really age that well, because now Bitcoin is at like $60,000 per Bitcoin, and back then it was like 3,000 or something. But also altcoins has also gone up. So I mean, it's hard to predict those things, even if you're like Jim Rickards or something. Nobody can predict the future, and nobody can really extrapolate from the past itself. So then we basically just unpack the unique mechanism of the problem. We introduced the mandatory, you know, the corporate state consortium is taking over. Corporate fat cats don't want you to know about it. You know, it's something that's a secret. I think this could have, you know, introduced more of a conspiratorial angle here to make it more interesting. But I like how it sets up another problem, and it basically teases the relevant part from the book. And we're gonna see all throughout this promotion, each time there's a content section, and then at the end of that content mini section, there's a tie-in to the book saying that, you know, this is cool and all, but like more detail is covered in the book. So if you're interested, you just have to like give me your email address and I'm gonna send it to you. Because remember, the book is the free bonus that comes when you subscribe to the paid newsletter itself. So then we get some things that you learn in the book itself, some historic examples to kind of give more credibility, to show that Jim Rickards knows what he talks about, and everything here just makes sense, right? It's called, this is what I call head nodding copy. So it gets people feeling and thinking like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, now I understand what this whole thing is about. So this one, this subhead, the next one, is a bit confusing to me. How much easier will ICE9 be to implement if money is 100% digital? I have no idea what ICE9 is, even though I'm involved and I worked with clients in the cryptocurrency niche for a long time. I have no idea what ICE9 is. Maybe I am ignorant, but if I don't know it, a lot of people in the target audience also don't do it, so won't know. So I think that this is a good example of being clever a little bit over being clear. So clarity trumps cleverness in almost every single case, by the way. But then again, maybe there's some internal slang to this specific target audience and they know what ICE9 is. I don't know, but I'm not crazy about the subhead, this one. But I do like that we talked about the unique new opportunity, which is kind of like the unique mechanism of the solution at this point, which basically says that, you know, well, Jim believes he's found documentation that this could go ahead and in an event of a crisis. It has widespread institutional support and tacit approval from some world governments. This really could be game-changing. IMF chief Christine Lagarde says the development in the crypto space amounts to a brave new world for the financial sector. Again, Brave New World, it's a book as well. It's been read by this target audience, most likely. I think Aldous Huxley wrote it, who was British, if I remember correctly. So this is kind of like a little element, a little hidden advanced element here that just connects with people. But basically, we get introduced to the unique mechanism of the solution, which is that, hey, you should get Jim's documentation, basically. And then we tie in Jim's credentials a little bit to build some extra authority before we introduce the offer once again. So at this point, as you can see, this little first story section, there's not really much of a story here either way. there's the unique mechanism of the problem and the solution. But relatively early on, we introduced the offer itself, which is Cryptocurrency Wars. Seems like a really nice book. And we just remind people that, yes, this is something that has scarcity to it, urgency to it. There's only 1,000 of them. They're password protected, and only Agora Financial UK readers can get it. And then we have some fascinations here. Again, not world-class fascinations, but really good fascinations still, to just build some desire for the book. We remind people of the exclusivity once again, how that you cannot get this anywhere else, not on Amazon and not in these stores here, only to Agora Financial UK readers. And then just like hidden, almost hidden here, we get introduced to the main product itself by saying, all I ask is that you agree to a trial run of Jim's advisory letter, Strategic Intelligence UK. So you'll get full access to Strategic Intelligence UK archive on a 100% test run basis for 365 days. So yeah, I like how the offer is understated here. So people still feel like they're getting this, and wow, they're getting it for free, and we're not triggering their guards immediately because we say, hey, here's the price, buy it. And notice, I like this, that we get introduced to the product itself, which is a soft offer because they don't have to, like, there's a trial run, but we don't get the price immediately, and that's intentional, I think, because people, like, if you give people the price, they're gonna be like, nah, I don't know, maybe next time. But before giving them the price, we're gonna overwhelm them with bonuses so that they're gonna feel like, yes, this is a really, really valuable offer, and I'm also getting those bonuses. It is kind of like an irresistible offer. So we have a call to action here. Make sure that you secure your copy today. Do it right now, and I authorize our team to email your copy as a priority. I like this. I authorize our team to email your copy as a priority. But at this point, you know, we still don't have the price, and I like that. Instead, we get like 4 or 5 special bonuses. And the first one, it has to do with gold. You know, whenever people are trying to get into Bitcoin, they view Bitcoin as either like a hedge against inflation, or like a preserve of value type of asset, or diversification from stocks and bonds. But in most cases, especially in 2018, a lot of people were looking at Bitcoin like digital gold. Nowadays, we know that it's not kind of like digital gold, it's kind of like insurance against other types of things. So it doesn't really go like gold does. It doesn't really react to other market conditions like gold does, but it's safe to assume that if people are interested in Bitcoin, they're more likely to be interested in gold as well. So we get a little overview of this bonus, you know, stimulating people's greed glands a little bit by saying, you know, all these gains, you know, sweet gains, brah. And this also serves a little proof element here, so that you know, people believe it more. Then we have special bonus number 2, ticking time bombs to avoid, 30 of them in fact. And again, this bonus, I think it works because it pre-validates their existing beliefs. A lot of these people, they're waiting for some sort of recession or market crash or something like that. And even if it's not really written by Jim Rickards, it's written by David Stevenson, it probably is valuable to people in this target audience. And you always want to serve them, remember. Another one, central banks rigged markets. Another pre-existing belief. A lot of people in the target audience believe that, you know, crooked Wall Street banks and you know, people in power and corrupt politicians as well are basically rigging the entire system against them, against the everyman, the layperson. And then we pile in even more bonuses. So at this point we have 3 special bonuses, but we also give them like the big drop. This is like some setup for the next bonus, and then special bonus number 4, which is quite impressive. Another book, basically. It's called The Big Drop: How to Grow Your Wealth During the Coming Collapse. Again, people believe that the collapse is coming, and we just pre-validate their beliefs and give them something in advance, which they'll probably find valuable. And then we just, as in most cases, we just drive up the value of these bonuses. We include copy that builds desire and curiosity to it. Then we shift a little bit and tie everything back to the main newsletter product. It's called it's actually called Strategic Intelligence UK. How, you're gonna get a 365-day trial subscription to our monthly intelligence briefing. Ooh, intelligence briefing. It's like, I'm gonna get access to insider secret information. People want that, especially if we suggest that, they're part of this special exclusive group of like Agora Financial UK readers, right? It's something that only we're going to sell to them, and they're going to be smarter investors compared to their buddies who don't have access to this. So there's a kind of like this exclusivity angle. It's running very strongly here. So then we have a newsletter overview of what's inside and some backstory. I'm not really crazy. I think all these paragraphs are a little bit too long. Like, we've seen offers, for example, the eccentric millionaire reveals his cryptocurrency secret or something like that. It was written by Valdo Albuquerque. Check out the video. It's a really, really good front-end promotion for Agora. And there we saw that he doesn't really use like paragraphs that have more than one or two sentences. And this one is just, it's too hard to read, right? Like, I get the feeling that even if I watch this, it's like 5 lines long. It's too much. Like, I cannot really isolate certain words immediately. This one is great. It should look like this one. And the best sales letters have text like this one here. But this, it's just too much. Like, at this point, you're gonna lose people. That's the problem here. This one also is just too, I don't know, maybe the spacing between the lines is also too little, and the spacing between paragraphs is also not enough. So it's overwhelming. And I think if they do heat mapping on this website, or if they did, because it's no longer available, this offer, I think they would probably see a big fall off here. So big lesson for you, trying to improve. Don't really make your text look like this, especially if it has a lot of numbers. It looks like a textbook or something, and you don't want that. You want it conversational, you want it friendly, interesting, intriguing, always, moving people forward. This, I think, it doesn't move people forward. Think of it like, I don't know, I think it was maybe Brian Kurtz or someone who said this first, who I learned this from, but like, whenever you're writing copy, think about it like this. Like, think about your family, your wife, for example, or daughter or girlfriend or someone else getting kidnapped, and somebody holding a gun to their head. And the kidnapper saying that if you don't write the copy that converts, we're gonna shoot your relative, family member, wife, child, anything like that, right? So would you use something like this if life or death depended on it? Probably not. You would probably like use every single thing that you can to make sure that the copy converts so that your loved one doesn't die. So I know it's an extreme example, but that's what you have to do in some cases, especially when you're writing to a super skeptical financial market like this one. Would you use something like this? Probably not, because it gets people, like, it loses people here. And like, even I at these places, like, I just skimmed through it, actually, because it was just too much. I felt like it's tiring, and people don't want to work to read your copy. They want to watch cat videos instead. So if it doesn't convert, and we know for a fact that these types of things are less likely to convert in most cases, unless it's like super engaging, don't use it. So then we get some reason why, what's our mission, why we want to help people. Then we get some proof as well, like how we have over 150,000 strategic intelligence subscribers, and how, Agora Financial is like this big company. And then finally we get the price reveal. It turns out that even though it's advertised as a soft offer, as like a trial subscription, it still cost £37 for the first year. Again, I'm not really crazy about this one, to be honest, because some price drop and price anchoring is missing. It should have said earlier, saying that, you know, normally we sell this at, like, normally to get advice from Jim Rickards like this, it would cost you thousands of dollars to be in his inner circle, and we understand that that's not possible for most people. So we actually created like a special subscription service for £97 a year. But then we felt that, you know, the economy is doing worse, doing badly, and I don't know, you can find 2 or 3 different causes why you're doing this. And then right now, if you act right now, we're willing to give you the entire 1-year subscription for £37, only to just help you, you know, knock you over the fence, off the fence, so that you get the Password Protective book, because it's so incredibly important. I as Jim Rickards or someone, would feel like, you know, a bad person for not giving you every opportunity I can to change your life with this. You get what I'm saying here? So this is what should have happened here. This is also good, and it's still way better than average, but we've seen better on this channel before, and that's why I'm covering it, so that you also hopefully spot these types of things, these improvement opportunities. And whenever if you're a copywriter, you go to your next client and you see something like this, and the client asks, so how can we improve the conversion rate of this page? You're gonna say, well, you know, do a price drop like that. You reference the things that I said in this video, and boom, you have a new project with potentially thousands of dollars in your pocket after that. So pretty cool, right? But in order to get there, you have to know how you can optimize things. And this is one of the things that could be optimized, for example. But I like how, you know, we have a risk reversal type of element here. We have a guarantee, very simple one. Now, I get it, you know, this sales page isn't really that long. Maybe the copywriter didn't want to like spend so much time on it. But again, we've seen guarantees which are like 1-2 pages long, and how much more powerful they are. Like, they really highlight how the person who's selling this whole product, it's like their own personal mission to see you as the reader succeed. This is just like throwing it out there. Hey, here's the money back guarantee. It does its job perfectly, like it works, but sometimes you gotta go the extra mile, and that's how you go the extra mile. So if, you know, you would have to rewrite this to beat it, expanding the guarantee could boost conversions. Probably it would boost conversions by a certain percent. So then we have like a hero shot of everything that you get, with some bonus, like all the bonuses listed, and we have a reason why behind the discount. That's really important. That's one of the things that I mentioned a few seconds ago, how, you know, why we are giving it away at £37. Well, it's simple. I consider it my duty to provide our readers with the best research we produce, so that you can understand what's happening and, most importantly, take action. Frankly, I risk losing money here. To turn a profit, quite simply, I need you to want to continue receiving our research for many years to come. So that means that we have to make it really high quality, because otherwise you're not gonna resubscribe here. So this kind of like, it's implicit proof that this is something really valuable. Oh, sorry. Then we have the call to action here. The button, I like how there's some ordering instructions, very detailed ordering instructions, like stupid friendly here. It's like, hey, you know, click the button, you're gonna get to a secure order page. Click the button there, then you're gonna get an email. Don't worry about it. Like, even if it's 3 a.m. on Sunday, you're still gonna get the email, and then you're gonna get the secrets, the insiders, all the bonuses, everything. You're also gonna get access to the special membership portal, yada yada yada. So then we have the close, you know, just basically reminding people of the most important things, reminding them of the main benefit here, the promise, some proof, reminding them of the risk reversal aspect, that there's a guarantee, how there's urgency as scarcity here, and then the call to action and the button. And then in the PS, this is useful for skimmers. A lot of people are going to skim it. They're going to get to the end and they're like, oh, what's this whole thing about? Well, basically, here's an overview. It's just the offer details recap. The same thing, you know, money back guarantee, the price, the main benefit, the bonuses, and call to action. But I am missing a lot of social proof here. So this is another major area of improvement that I don't know. I haven't really seen that many studies here, or like the track record of gym records established. We've seen in these types of financial promotions before that it's very important to establish the proven successful track record of the guru himself or herself, because that gives credibility. Also, like some social proof, some testimonials from people who took Jim's advice or who have read the book. You know, this is a new book, so maybe not this one, but from other books, like, hey, I read Jim Rickards' advice and I turned $100 into $10,000, and here's how you can too, and stuff like that. You know, it's totally missing. No social proof here at all, almost no. And I think it's a mistake, because you can make this even more powerful like that. And then we have a big ass this risk warning little table here. A big disclaimer, I think the UK takes this very, very seriously, so that's why. So yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. It was a breakdown that involved more critical type of, it involves a more critical type of analysis, but I always want to be truthful to what I believe is the best copy. Very good copy, and bad copy. I think this is very good, but it can be improved in many cases. And I hope you got value from this as well. Just seeing my thinking process on how I actually look at these things, right? And if you enjoyed it, if you got value from it, then definitely smash the like button right now. It helps a ton with YouTube's algorithm, with just helping this video get more views and reach more people. If you're new to the channel, then subscribe. And if you have some friends who might also get some benefit from this, then make sure to share this video with them. Oh, and by the way, if you felt like, you know, your sales page could also use a boost like this, maybe get some great new ideas on how you can definitely boost the conversion rate of your sales page, send me an email, chaba@gameofconversions.com, and we'll set something up, because I do offer copy audits, copy critiques as well, and many people, they see a lot of improvements from these types of critiques. So if you feel like you could benefit from something like that, send me an email and I'll send you more details on how to actually get it. So thanks again for watching, and see you in the next